There is a bird on your fence post right now. You have seen it 100 times. You walked past it this morning without stopping. Maybe yesterday too. The bird was there. You registered it. You kept moving. Here is what that bird was actually doing while you walked past. It was watching you, specifically you, filing away data about your movement, your pace, your direction, what you were carrying. And every other bird in your yard was doing the same thing. Every single one. Every single one. All of them watching. All of them working. None of them just sitting there. Welcome to Known by Birds. Subscribe before you leave because what you are about to learn will change the way you see your yard permanently. Today, we go inside the 7 most common birds in your yard and what they are actually doing in the moments you think they are just there.
The cardinal on the fence post. Most people see a cardinal sitting still and think, pretty bird, resting, probably just enjoying the morning. What is actually happening is one of the most complex territorial calculations in the bird world. That fence post is not a resting spot. It is a command position. The cardinal chose it because it gives him unobstructed sightlines to the feeder, to the nest site, to the 3 most likely predator approach routes into his territory. While he sits there, he is doing 4 things simultaneously. Monitoring the feeder for who arrives and in what order. Watching for rival male cardinals on his territory boundary. Listening for alarm calls from the chickadees that will tell him if a predator is approaching. And keeping track of exactly where his mate is. The cardinal you walk past every morning is not enjoying the view. He is running a security operation. And he has been watching you long enough to know exactly where you fit in it.
The chickadee at your feeder. You have watched chickadees at your feeder so many times it has become wallpaper. They come, they take a seed, they go. Come back, take a seed, go. The whole thing takes 2 seconds. Every single one of those 2-second visits is a risk assessment. The chickadee is not grabbing food, it is making a decision. In the moment before it lands on the feeder, the chickadee has already scanned for hawks above, cats below, the position of every other bird on the feeder, and calculated the escape route it will use if something goes wrong while it is eating. The seed it takes is almost always the largest black oil sunflower seed it can find in under 1 second. Research has shown that chickadees can assess seed weight by touch in under 200 milliseconds. They never take a light seed when a heavy one is available. It takes the seed to a branch 15 to 20 feet away and eats it there, not at the feeder, because eating at the feeder means staying still, and staying still means being catchable. The chickadee you watch at your feeder every morning is not a small bird eating breakfast. It is an extremely sophisticated risk manager executing a strategy that has been refined over millions of years of predation pressure. The robin crossing your lawn. Everyone knows robins pull worms. You have watched it happen. The robin stops, tilts its head, pulls. Classic. Here is what most people do not know. The head tilt is not listening. Robins find worms primarily by sight, not sound. That tilted head is bringing one eye into downward focus, scanning for the micro movements of worms just below the soil surface. Robins can detect worm movement through visual cues so subtle that researchers using high-speed cameras had to watch footage frame by frame before they could see what the robin was seeing in real time. But here's the stranger part. The robin's path across your lawn is not random. It is a systematic search pattern. The robin maps sections of your lawn and works them in sequence, returning to productive areas and avoiding areas that have been depleted. Your lawn has a map in that robin's head, a detailed, updated map of exactly where the worms are, which areas have been recently worked, and which areas have had time to replenish. The robin crossing your lawn is not wandering. It is executing a plan. The nuthatch going headfirst down the tree. Every other bird that climbs trees goes up. Woodpeckers, creepers, all of them, upward. The nuthatch goes down. Always head first, always down. And there's a reason for it that makes the behavior one of the most elegant adaptations in the bird world. When a bird moves up a tree, it sees the bark from below. Insects and larvae hiding in bark crevices that open downward are invisible from that angle. When the nuthatch moves down, it sees those same crevices from above, exactly the angle that exposes what no other bird misses. The nuthatch has carved out an ecological niche that belongs entirely to it, moving down, seeing what no other bird can see, and eating what no other bird can find. Your tree is not just a tree to the nuthatch, it's a pantry that it has memorized from top to bottom, and that it rechecks every single day. The mourning dove sitting still. Of all the birds in your yard, the mourning dove is the one most people interpret as lazy. It sits for long stretches, it moves slowly, it seems indifferent to almost anything happening around it. The mourning dove is not lazy. It is performing one of the most sophisticated social calculations in the backyard bird world. Mourning doves are flock birds with a complex social hierarchy. The individual that holds still while others move, that projects calm, that never flinches, that bird commands deference. The dove sitting still on your fence is not resting. It is demonstrating status. It is the dove equivalent of the most confident person in the room being the quietest one in it. The blue jay screaming. Most people find blue jays annoying. Too loud, too aggressive, they bully smaller birds off the feeder, they scream constantly, they are the noisy neighbor of the backyard bird world. But here's what is actually happening when a blue jay screams. It is running an intelligence network that every other bird in your yard depends on for survival. Blue jays produce distinct alarm calls for distinct predators. The hawk alarm is different from the cat alarm. The owl alarm is different from the snake alarm. Researchers have documented that small songbirds respond differently to each specific jay alarm call. When a blue jay screams in your yard, it's not making noise. It's transmitting specific threat intelligence to every bird within a quarter mile. The chickadee that freezes when the jay calls is not reacting to sound. It's understanding language. The blue jay you find annoying is the reason your other birds are still alive. It's the early warning system for the entire yard. Every bird in it depends on that screaming for information they can't get any other way. The sparrow in the dust. If you've ever watched a sparrow in a patch of dry dirt, flopping around, rubbing itself in the dust, wings spread, feathers completely disheveled, your first thought was probably that something was wrong with it. Nothing is wrong with it. The dust bath is one of the oldest bird behaviors that exists, and researchers are still working to fully understand why. The leading theory is parasite control. Fine dust particles work their way between the feathers and into the microscopic spaces where mites and lice live and breed. The dust suffocates or dislodges them. A sparrow that dust baths regularly carries significantly fewer external parasites than one that doesn't. The sparrow flopping in the dirt in your yard is not sick. It's not struggling. It is performing a behavior so ancient that it predates the suburban yard, the fence, the feeder, and probably the tree it lives in by millions of years. So the next time you walk through your yard and the birds are there, the cardinal on the fence post is not sitting. He's running a security operation from a command position he chose because it gives him sightlines to everything that matters. The chickadee at your feeder is not eating. It's executing a risk-managed foraging strategy that has been refined over millions of years of predation pressure. The robin on your lawn is not wandering. It is working a mental map of your property that is more accurate than anything you could draw. The nuthatch going down the tree is not being eccentric. It's exploiting a food source that every other bird in your yard is biologically incapable of seeing. The dove sitting still is not lazy. It is the most socially dominant bird on that railing, and every other dove in the yard knows it. The blue jay screaming is not being annoying. It's the reason the chickadee at your feeder is still alive. The sparrow in the dust is not sick. It is performing a ritual older than your yard, your house, and possibly your species. None of them are just there. Every single bird you walk past every day is operating, calculating, working, surviving. The birds you've been walking past every day without stopping, they've never stopped watching you. Tell me in the comments, which bird visits your yard every single day without fail? I want to hear which one you see the most. And if this changed how you see the yard this morning, share it with someone who watches the birds outside their window, because the next time they walk past a bird, they'll stop. I'll see you in the next one.